prostrating to the entire Guru Parampara, to the Almighty Lord, and to one and all present here. Let us begin reflection on Mundaka Upanishad. First important question that we ask wherever we are, whatever we are doing, is why are we doing it? Isn't it? That is the basic question. We want to do anything, we ask this question, why? So we all are here. Why? Very simple answer, to study Mundaka Upanishad. Okay. Why? Why you want to study Mundaka Upanishad? Because I believe that there is some knowledge in it which I want to gain. Okay. So this knowledge is the pursuit for which all of us are here. So let us, before entering into the text per se, understand what is this knowledge. Okay. Little subtle question. Suppose I ask, define knowledge. How will you define knowledge? Very difficult. It's not easy. What do you mean by knowledge? You can't say knowledge is some object. You can't say that. You know, knowledge is something that happens inside. But there are so many things that happen inside. So, let us keep this question, but around that question, let us build something, whatever we know about knowledge. First thing that we know about knowledge is it is buddhi vishaya. It is something related to my intellect. It's not sharira vishaya. The body doesn't come to know. The mind also doesn't come to know. It is the buddhi that comes to know. It is buddhi vishaya, number one. Number two, when knowledge happens, it is kind of illuminating experience for me. It is like that. See, any kind of knowledge. I am not just necessarily talking about Upanishad or spiritual knowledge. I am saying any knowledge for that matter. When it happens, some kind of, like that. Some kind of illumination happens to buddhi. Another interesting thing about knowledge is there is no birth for knowledge. Knowledge is always there. It is beginningless. Again I am repeating, I am not just necessarily talking about Veda or Upanishad. Any knowledge is beginningless. And it is eternal. In the Vyavaharika sense. It is beginningless and eternal. Why do we say like this? Though we believe that Newton came up with the law of gravitation, we also know that law of gravitation existed before Newton also. Correct? Now, I am not talking from the standpoint that, before the Western scientists came up with it, in Indian scriptures these laws were there. I am not talking just like that. I am saying even if it was there in the Veda, even before that, it existed. The knowledge per se is always there. What is the birth of knowledge then? Birth of knowledge happens when it is revealed to us. So it only becomes manifest, it is revealed, and sometimes it becomes unmanifest. So, whatever new knowledge streams are coming up, what are they? What are all those knowledge streams? They are just talking about that portion of knowledge which was, so to say, was unmanifest till now and is becoming manifest now. But knowledge as it is not getting created. No, it is getting revealed. Now, when this knowledge is revealed to a person who reveals it to rest of the world, that is called as a discovery of knowledge. Are you getting so far, following what I am trying to say? Any knowledge, not just spiritual knowledge, not just Veda Upanishad, any knowledge of anything is always there, but is revealed at different point of time to different people. And when a person is revealed with one kind of knowledge and that person reveals to all rest, that is called as discovery. And such a person is called as a scientist in modern terms. So we say law of gravitation before Newton may have existed, but nobody knew. It was not a matter of knowledge of people. It is not an object of knowledge of people. So what did Newton do? Newton discovered it. It was revealed to Newton, and then Newton revealed it to rest of the world. I am just taking Newton as an example. So the moment we hear in Indian tradition, in Indian culture, that Vedas are Apaurusheya, we should not suddenly say, what is this? How? All knowledge for that matter is Apaurusheya. Apaurusheya means not created by a person, Purusha. Not created, not written by somebody. It is revealed knowledge. Every single knowledge is that way. It's not just Veda. So, then if every single knowledge, then what is the speciality of Veda? Veda was the first one to reveal all kinds of knowledge to everyone. That is why Vedas are important. Now, you see, knowledge, we are talking about knowledge. The word Veda itself means knowledge. Isn't it? Veda word itself means knowledge. So, Veda is what? Storehouse, treasure of all kinds of knowledge, either secular or spiritual. Material related to the world or self-knowledge related to the self. For all kinds of knowledge, Veda is the storehouse. Veda word comes from root vid. Vid means to know. So the Veda word itself means knowledge. Vidyate iti Vedaha. One meaning, very simple. Now what happens? Okay, the knowledge as it is, when it is revealed to people, then we come to know about that through the Veda. So Veda also becomes means for knowledge. Vidyate anena iti Vedaha. That by which, that through which we come to know. So Veda is that storehouse of knowledge which talks about what? We'll come to that later. But which is basically beginningless. Revealed to different rishis. Gurudev used to call them scientists. What kind of scientists? Subjective scientists. He used to say physics, chemistry, biology people are objective scientists. So what do? They continue to research on one subject and they are revealed with that kind of knowledge and they publish it. So all those scientists who have come up with discovery of all those laws related to the physical world, together that entire portion becomes physics. And all those scientists become physicists or scientists of physics. Similarly, in the chemistry field, they were doing research, they were in their particular labs and trying to discover something, and when they came up with something, all what they came up with put together became chemistry. And all those scientists became discoverers of this knowledge. He used to say similarly, rishis are also scientists. The only difference is the scientists that we say now were looking for something outside. In the material world, they were trying to find out why the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. So many things, why things are falling down, why water comes out when I jump into the pool. Different things they were trying to know. These material scientists are what we are calling as scientists. And we say they are very logical because they work on proof, they work on theory, and if it is proven by logic, it is proven by experimentation, then we say the discovery is right. But the moment it comes to spirituality, we say no, it is just some kind of beliefs that have come together. No, these are not just set of beliefs. They were also scientists. Our rishis were also scientists. Now, since these physics scientists or chemistry scientists, they needed the environment which is required for their research. So, if I want to do research in chemistry, I must be in chemistry laboratory. If I am doing research in biology, I must be in a laboratory which is meant for it. Now, since these rishis were doing research on the self, within themselves, what happened? They found a laboratory which will help them to go deeper within. Therefore, they settled in the cool, calm weather of Himalayas where there is no outside distraction and they can easily go within. They were also behind something, very, very particular thing, and the knowledge was revealed to them. Now, collection of all those revelations of all these rishis put together is called as Veda. Veda also has topics related to the material world. Of course it has. It is not just spiritual knowledge, but that's where it becomes very interesting, because in Indian culture or Indian tradition, we don't have that kind of distinction of secular knowledge, material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. That kind of distinction is not there. For us, every single knowledge is both material knowledge as well as spiritual knowledge. So we will find spirituality in every material knowledge and we will find materialism in every spiritual knowledge, because they are not separately segregated. Vedas cannot be called as books of material science. They cannot be just called as books of spiritual science also. They include both. Why? Because the whole thing was one area of research for the rishis. Based on what the science has been developed now, we are creating this kind of distinction that objective scientists, subjective scientists, etc. But actually speaking, all rishis were discovering everything. And for them, material knowledge or spiritual knowledge, both was part of one whole topic, one whole subject. And according to their expertise, according to their revelations, different kinds of knowledge was revealed to them. All those revelations put together is called as Veda. So the Veda itself is storehouse of knowledge, therefore it is knowledge per se, and Veda also is the means of knowledge. Because for us, it reveals that particular knowledge to us. So therefore Veda becomes both. Now, because it is means of knowledge, in Darshana Shastra it is called as Pramana. Means of knowledge. Pramana. So just as Pratyaksha is a Pramana, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, like that Shabda Pramana, under Shabda Pramana one of the important factors is Veda, which is the authoritative means of knowledge. I am adding one more word. Means of knowledge, okay. It is not just any kind of means of knowledge, it is authoritative means of knowledge. How are they authoritative? Who gave authority to Vedas? Scientists gave authority to Vedas. Which scientists? The same scientists who revealed. Then came more scientists and they confirmed, yes, this is right. Yes, this is right. That's how authority comes to anything. Suppose I publish a paper tomorrow in physics and I start saying that because I am saying therefore, nobody will believe me. Who are you? I must be given authority by some sanctioned, well-established scientists. When they confirm that yes, this hypothesis is right or what discovery that person has made is right, then we say yes, this is authority. That is also not sufficient. It should stand test of time also. Not just today something came up, but tomorrow some other data will come and then my discovery will become wrong. So time and again different people should come up and should say in that field that yes, this is right, yes, this is right. Then it becomes authority. So Veda is authoritative means. Why? Because what discoveries the rishis did, The rishis afterwards confirmed that yes, this is right. Yes, this is right. Not necessarily rishis, any kind of people. Those who were experts in that field, they confirmed. So the Veda that we have now, please understand this point, this is a little subtle point. Veda that we have now is both the revelation as well as the confirmation. And that is why we see Veda quoting Veda. Many times people get confused because of this point. See, in Upanishads what happens? We say Upanishad is part of Veda. Veda is Apaurusheya. Apaurusheya means it is not written by one person, which means what? It was always there. Now, interestingly, what happens in some Upanishads, the Upanishads themselves are quoting other Upanishads or other portions of Veda. Now you say, what is this? If it is Apaurusheya, it is not written, then how are they quoting? That is because the Veda that we have today is revelation as well as confirmation. And those rishis who are confirming, what are they doing? They are adding their own aspects to it and confirming. You see, this is the same point that was explained earlier, or that was explained in another portion. In Prashnopanishad, when we were studying, there were lots of mantras which were quoted. Actually, in every single answer that Rishi Pippalada was giving, he was quoting. You see, I am not just telling on my own. You see here, quote is there. We don't know from where that quote is there. Why? Because it is also become part of Prashnopanishad today. That's why I am saying that the Veda that we have today is both revelation as well as confirmation together. But that is how Veda is. Veda is number one, storehouse of knowledge. Number two, it is a means of knowledge. Number three, it is an authoritative means of knowledge. Is this clear? Now, what is Veda talking about? So, we say Veda basically speaks of two topics. Mainly, broadly, it speaks of two topics. Dharma and Brahma. Why I am saying broadly? Because there are so many subtopics, we can't even imagine. Every single thing that we study in the Veda, if we try to understand how it has come up to here, it is mind-boggling. You can't even understand so clearly. But basic, very, very rough, if we have to say the two topics of Vedas, they are Dharma and Brahma. Here the word Dharma is not in the meaning of duty or religion or any of righteousness, not in those bad translations into English. Dharma doesn't have any correct translation, just as Brahma also, because they have in themselves so much of meaning, those two words. So Dharma basically, for us to understand, it deals with something which is related to the world. Okay? Everything related to the world. And when I say world, body is also part of the world. So biology, physics, chemistry, natural science, social science, everything becomes part of this Dharma. Everything, Dharma Shastra also, law books also, everything, the knowledge per se, the books came later, the knowledge per se, everything is put together in this one topic of Dharma. And the second topic is Brahma. The supreme reality, so to say, which is behind this entire Dharma, illumining this entire Dharma. So when we say that Veda speaks of Dharma and Brahma, naturally Veda does two things. It instructs us on how to live our life in the world, and it gives us knowledge of Brahma, which is the substratum of the world. Let me repeat what I am saying. Since the main two topics of Veda are Dharma and Brahma, In the Dharma section, when Veda is talking about, of course it will give knowledge of various things, but it essentially will conclude with certain instructions. Therefore, we must do like this. Therefore, you must do like this. Why? Because that is one important work that the Veda has to do. And second, for Brahma, it will reveal the knowledge, not say anything that you have to do, or it will tell also that according to sadhana, but basically it is to reveal this knowledge of Brahman. So in the topic of Dharma and Brahma, there will be two kinds of statements. One kind of statements that reveal knowledge, another kind of statements that engage us in action. Vidhi nisheda paravakya, jnana paravakya, generally they will speak of these two things. Some statements will give knowledge, some statements will give you instructions. Do this. Now, because of these two things that the Veda does, it is also called as a Shastra. What is a Shastra? Now again, you see, Sanskrit words are like that you cannot just have one English word, to explain that Shastra. Sometimes Shastra is called as scripture. Sometimes Shastra is called as science in many of the regional languages. Shastra, let us understand from Sanskrit standpoint only. Either it comes from the root shas, shasanat, trayate, iti shastram. That which trayate, which protects, shasanat, by giving injunctions, by giving instructions. That is called as Shastra. Or shamsanat trayate. Shastra can also come from root shams, shamsadhatu. Shamsanat trayate iti shastram. That which protects us by shamsana. Shamsana means by giving knowledge. So Veda is a kind of Shastra that protects us by giving instructions and by giving knowledge. So you see how Dharma and Brahma, both aspects are covered in these two meanings. Shasanat trayate, shamsanat trayate. So far what all things we have seen? Veda is storehouse of knowledge, Veda is means of knowledge, Pramana, means of knowledge, then Veda is also authoritative means, Pramana, and Veda is a Shastra. Now this knowledge, as it is, was not in the form of any book. It was just as knowledge, which was taught to students by the teacher. Students in turn will teach it to their students. And in this way, the entire knowledge was passed on. And this knowledge which was passed on in this lineage of Guru-Shishya was therefore known as Shruti. Therefore, another name for Veda that we will often use is Shruti. Iti Shrutihi. Shankaracharya in Bhashya, many times he will say that this is what we have heard. Why are we saying we have heard? Because the students heard it from their teachers and they taught it to their students who heard it from them, and then it was passed on. So Shruti or Veda was passed on through this Guru-Shishya Parampara. Now as time started to go forward, it had impact on people's intelligence, mind, capacity to grasp things, capacity to retain things. And slowly what started happening, that some knowledge streams started to vanish. Why? Because suppose my teacher is teaching me something, I am incapable of holding on to that knowledge or understanding or passing it on. If I am not good in anything, that little bit of knowledge is lost. Now when significantly the loss of knowledge increased, At that time, Bhagavan Veda Vyasa came. Is a Jnana avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu who came there, and what did he do? He went to all the rishis at that time, learnt all the knowledge that they had, and formulated the entire knowledge, edited the entire knowledge into 4 volumes, 4 books. Therefore, he is called as Veda Vyasa, one who made or edited or compiled these Vedas. So, the Vedas that we know today, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, these are the 4 volumes that contain the knowledge which was being passed on even before through Guru-Shishya Parampara. So, he divided this entire knowledge into 4 volumes, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. Based on what? Based on many things. Only he can answer, only Veda Vyasa can answer based on what he must have compiled or edited in these volumes. But a simple thing that we can understand by studying 4 Vedas is they say that Rig Veda contains all the mantras that are padya, that are in the form of poetry. Yajur Veda contains most of the mantras, not all of the mantras, most of the mantras which are in the form of prose, Yajur Veda. Sama Veda contains most of the mantras which are in the form of a Gita, Gana, song. And Atharva Veda, they say, contains most of the mantras, important mantras of the first 3. Very few new mantras are there in Atharva Veda. Lot of Rig Veda mantras we see again appearing in Atharva Veda also. As I said, there will be many other reasons for him, compiling it in that way. Right? But we have 4 volumes. And then what he did was, he taught these 4 volumes to 4 of his students and told them, you protect this one. The whole knowledge you are not able to protect, fine. Don't worry. You protect one. So 4 students then taught it to their own many Shishyas, different Shakhas, branches came out. And that is how we have this Veda as a text as well as a tradition which is being preserved. Okay. Now again, in time since Veda Vyasa till now, many of the Shakhas, many of the mantras, many of the suktas, many things have vanished. Okay. Can't do anything about it now. Okay. But whatever we have now is also Parishrama, is also huge effort of the entire Parampara. That is why we always begin the session by prostrating to the Parampara. Because of them we have this knowledge. We can't imagine. Rig Veda, they say, is the oldest book in the whole world. And we still have lots of portions of it. And whatever book we have, which is the oldest, is itself a very, very short version of what actually Rig Veda was. You imagine what kind of knowledge, in Bharat we had. And understand that there are lots of problems that happen in the world also. Bharat is a country that has survived 2000 years of invasion. No other country in the world has survived like this. And still we have this kind of knowledge available to us. It is because of this entire Parampara. So we have this Veda divided into 4 volumes. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. Now each of these 4 Vedas are further divided into sections. Some say there are 2 sections because there are 2 topics, Dharma and Brahma. Therefore they say there are 2 sections, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Simple. Some say no, there are 3 sections, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Where what are they doing? That Karma Kanda they are dividing into 2. Karma Kanda where the physical actions are there, Upasana Kanda where mental actions are there. Both are related to actions only, both are related to gaining some world or gaining some joy of this world. They all, pertain to that topic, and therefore some say there are 3 sections. Some more people say no, there are 4 sections. What are they doing? They are further dividing the Karma Kanda section into 2. Mantra, and mantra are also called as Samhita, and Brahmana section. So what is this mantra or Samhita section? Where the mantras which are to be chanted while doing the karma are mentioned. Brahmana section contains the instructions of performing that particular action. This is the first session, okay? Lot of information is going to come, and that is why the recording is given to you, because everything you will not be able to understand in one shot. Go back, again listen, okay, so that it becomes clear. Mantra section or Samhita section contains the mantras which are to be chanted during Karma Kanda. Brahmana section contains the mantras which are to be chanted, which give the instructions of performing that karma. So in mantra, there will be lots of suktas, etc. also will be there. Why? All of them are in praise and all of them are to be chanted while doing a particular thing. So of course suktas, etc. also will become part of it. Then third section becomes Aranyaka section, which is Upasana Kanda basically, where it deals with the mental activities, upasanas, etc. We will see as we go on studying Mundaka Upanishad, some upasanas, etc. And earlier also those who have studied other Upanishads, we have seen Kena Upanishad had upasana, Katha also had little bit of upasana towards the end. Prashna Upanishad of course had Onkara upasana, etc. So it deals with that upasana. And the last section, so mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and the last section, which is also called as Jnana Kanda, that section is called Upanishad. Okay, for this I explained all these things. Okay, Mundaka Upanishad we are studying, no? So where is this Upanishad? This Upanishad is part of Veda. What is Veda? Veda is knowledge. So we started from knowledge, we understood how that knowledge is beginningless but is revealed at different times, how it is all Apaurusheya only, but how it comes together, then how that one knowledge, Veda, also is the means of knowledge, also is the authoritative means, also is a Shastra. We studied all that. Then we understood how that one knowledge divided into 4 volumes, how in each of the 4 volumes there are these sections of mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. So Upanishad, which is the last section of each Veda, is also called as Vedanta. Vedasya Antaha, the last portion, the culminating portion, the end portion of the Vedas. Now, I always say, don't imagine that these are the physical compartments. These are not physical compartments of Veda. Don't imagine like that, no. So it is not that, okay, Rig Veda is like this, 500 pages, then first 125 pages is mantra section, next 125 pages is Brahmana section. It is not like that. They are all jumbled up. Topically, this is the division. So we will have Upanishad coming in mantra section also. We will have Upanishad coming in Brahmana section also. We will have Upanishad coming in Aranyaka section also. Right? So that is why these are not physical, this is not physical division, this is a topical division. And the final topic of the Veda that the Veda wants to tell about Brahma, about Jnana Kanda, that is called as Upanishad, and therefore it is also called as Vedanta. Up to here, okay? Understood what is this Upanishad? Now the word meaning of Upanishad we have already seen so many times in so many other Upanishads, especially in Kathopanishad where Shankaracharya himself in Bhashya has taken. Very simple meaning we will see at the moment. In here also in Mundakopanishad, Avatarika Bhashya in the beginning portion of Upodgata Bhashya, we will see he is just referring to this meaning which was earlier explained in Kathopanishad Bhashya. So Upanishad, 3 portions. Upa is a upasarga prefix, Ni is also upasarga prefix. Both of them are adding some meaning to the dhatu sad. So Upa means samipe, near. Ni means nishchayena, with determination. And simple meaning of sad is to sit. Simple meaning. So to sit near a teacher with determination, that is a simple meaning of the word Upanishad. See, the word itself tells that you have to gain the knowledge of Upanishad by going near a guru. It will not happen just by books. And therefore, all of us are going near Shankaracharya and sitting and trying to understand what is this Upanishad. That's what we are doing. Right? This is a online webinar, no? So, all of you are physically not coming near Shankaracharya, but mentally all of us are coming near the Guru, near Shankaracharya and saying, oh Guru, please give us this knowledge. Upanishad. To sit near a Guru with determination. Second meaning, as explained by Shankaracharya, Sad Dhatu has three meanings. Visharana, Gati and Avasadana. Visharana, destruction, to destroy. Gati, to lead. And Avasadana, to loosen, to decay. So that which destroys, leads and loosens, when you go near and sit with determination, that is called as Upanishad. Now the question is, what? It destroys what? Leads to what? Loosens what? Shankaracharya has beautifully explained. That which destroys ignorance leads us to the supreme reality and loosens the clutches of samsara. That self-knowledge, Brahmavidya, is called as Upanishad. I am repeating, that which destroys ignorance, avidya, leads us to the supreme reality, Brahman, and loosens the clutches of samsara. That Brahmavidya is called as Upanishad. Therefore, the meaning of the word Upanishad is Brahmavidya. The self-knowledge, knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of reality, whatever you want to say. That Brahmavidya is the meaning of the word Upanishad. Upanishad Shabdena Brahmavidya Uchyate or Vidya Uchyate. In this Upanishad itself, very beautifully, in the very beginning, the Guru will say there are two kinds of Vidya. Dve Vidye Veditavye. We'll see when it comes. Very beautiful explanation is there, and how, what is Brahmavidya in among the two and how it happens. So that Brahmavidya, the self-knowledge. So now clear distinction is done in the entire section of Veda, or rather in the entire gamut of Veda. That portion which deals with self-knowledge is called as Upanishad. Clear distinction. That which deals with Brahma, that which deals with Jnana Kanda, that is called as Upanishad. Now those portions in the form of texts are available today with all of us. Mundakopanishad, you can show book. I am studying this. Now this book is the secondary meaning of the word Upanishad. Gauna. Mukhya meaning is Brahmavidya. Now since this Brahmavidya is given in this book, the book is also called as Upanishad. A very subtle difference is there. When we refer to Upanishad, we are referring to Brahmavidya. Now this Brahmavidya is given in a textbook. That book is also called as Upanishad. Why? Because it gives that Brahmavidya. So by secondary meaning, this book also becomes Upanishad. To quote Shankaracharya ji in Kathopanishad Bhashya, he says, Iyam Brahmavidya yasmat granthat vakyat va bhavati tadapi Upanishad iti uchyate gaunarthena. He says, this Brahmavidya is given to us by this statement, by this book. Therefore, the book also is called as Upanishad. So, when we sit near Guru with determination and gain this knowledge, Brahmavidya, which destroys ignorance, which leads us to supreme reality and loosens the clutches of samsara. This knowledge of Brahman is called as Upanishad. And the text by which we gain that knowledge is also called as Upanishad. This is similar to Veda, you see. Veda, we said, is storehouse of knowledge and it is also means of knowledge. In the same way, Upanishad by itself, the word itself means Brahmavidya. Now you understand how logical this all is. Veda, the word itself means knowledge, any kind of knowledge. Upanishad, the word itself means Brahmavidya, specific kind of knowledge. This Upanishad is part of Veda. So Veda contains knowledge per se of any topic. In those all topics, that which deals with Brahmavidya, that portion is called as Upanishad. Okay. There are many Upanishads. Some say there are 2000 plus Upanishads, some say there are 1000 plus Upanishads. Most of the people accept that there are 108 Upanishads which are confirmed by the scholars, by the gurus also. They are also listed in Mundaka Upanishad, no? 108 Upanishads are listed. But among all those, whether 2000 or 1000 or whether 100, 10 Upanishads are most important and therefore they are called as Mukhya Upanishad. Why are they important? For various reasons. One important reason why these 10 Upanishads are more important is because Bhagavan Veda Vyasa, who has compiled the Vedas and therefore has put particular Upanishad in the particular Veda, who has studied all the Upanishads, has taken these 10 Upanishads for a comparative analysis in his text of Brahma Sutra. So, Veda Vyasji himself, who has compiled the 4 Vedas, has written another text called Brahma Sutra, which is a comparative analysis of Upanishads. And while doing the comparative analysis, even if at his time there were 2000 Upanishads available, let us say, he has taken these 10 Upanishads mainly for the comparative analysis, and therefore these 10 Upanishads become Mukhya Upanishads. See, it is not to say that they are better or higher or nothing like that. All Upanishads are Upanishads, they are giving the same knowledge, right? But because these 10 Upanishads were highlighted by Veda Vyasji, what happened? The Acharyas thereafter also highlighted these 10 Upanishads. So we have Shankaracharya writing commentaries on these 10 Upanishads. Then of course Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya also wrote commentaries on these 10 Upanishads. Many other great Acharyas who came later, who wrote commentary on these 10 Upanishads mainly. Some have written commentaries on other Upanishads also. But these 10 Upanishads became more Mukhya Upanishad. Okay. What are these 10 Upanishads? Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Munda Mandukya Tittirihi, Aitareyam cha Chandogyam, Aranyakam tatha. Then there is one verse which gives the list of all the 10 Upanishads. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Munda Mandukya Tittirihi, Aitareyam cha Chandogyam, Aranyakam tatha. Okay, so Ishavasya Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Mundakopanishad. So we are in the 5th. We are studying the 5th Upanishad now. We have gone by the same krama also. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka. Then Mandukya. Then Taittiriya Upanishad. Aitareya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad. And Aranyaka Upanishad. These 10 Upanishads are Mukhya Upanishad. Now, interesting thing that we find in all these 10 Upanishads is, and it is not a coincidence, it is a thoughtful decision by Veda Vyasa, is these 10 Upanishads are taken from different Vedas. Why? Because he finally wanted to show that all the Vedas, all the Upanishads are saying one same thing. There is a consistency, there is a ekavakyata in the entire Veda, in the entire Vedic literature. So, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, 4 are divided. Doesn't mean Rig Veda is saying something else, Yajurveda is something else, Samaveda is saying. No, these are not darshanas. These are not 4 different views. There is a different darshana Shastra which is there. These are all 4 texts talking about the same thing. Maybe the way of presentation may be different, but they are talking about the same truth. So to explain this, that is why he did the comparative analysis, and he explained how all 4 Vedas, the Upanishads are taken from all 4 Vedas, not only from all 4 Vedas, but from different sections of each Veda. That is also interestingly we will see. So when I say different Vedas, we have Aitareya Upanishad which is taken from Rig Veda. Yajurveda also has 2 main shakhas which have become now Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda. They were basically 2 shakhas, but now they are, prominent. So we have Shukla Yajurveda Upanishads also are there, Ishavasya is there, Brihadaranyaka is there. We have Krishna Yajurveda Upanishads, Katha Upanishad we studied, Taittiriya which we will be studying, that is both are Krishna Yajurveda. Then Samaveda Upanishads are there, Chandogya is Samaveda, Kena Upanishad that we studied is Samaveda Upanishad. And Atharva Veda, the last Veda, we have 3 Upanishads from there, Prashna, Mundaka and Mandukya. So we have among these 10, from all 4 Vedas, the Upanishads have been gathered together. We also have from different sections, so there are Mantra Upanishads. We said earlier also that they are topical divisions. So in the first mantra section itself, a portion of Upanishad is coming. Ishavasya Upanishad, for example, which is the 40th chapter of that Karma Kanda. So 39 chapters have been given, and then the 40th chapter comes as Ishavasya Upanishad in that mantra section. And therefore Shankaracharya gives entire bhashya to say that, hey, wait. Just because it is coming here, don't think it is like this. This chapter is very different from the previous 39 chapters. He puts a lot of time there. Why? Because it comes in mantra section. He is assuming that people are studying the entire Veda and therefore is coming to, he doesn't know that we will be only studying Upanishads. So he puts that effort in explaining that this 40th chapter is different from previous 39 chapters. Right? Also, you see, the more we think about this, the more we understand the vision behind making this. Why he has not kept, Veda Vyasa when he was compiling, he could have just done the topical segregation into physical segregation also. Put all the Upanishad section together. Avoid confusion. No. See, suppose some family is supposed to take care of one portion of Veda, then they should get a flavor of everything. That is the purpose. And that's why suppose one family is studying only the mantra section, in that mantra section also some Upanishad is coming. Somebody is studying only Brahmana section, in that also some section of Upanishad is coming. We had Talavakara Brahmana, Kena Upanishad, etc. Isn't it? Kena Upanishad coming there in Talavakara Brahmana. So Brahmana section suddenly Kena Upanishad comes. Suppose somebody is studying just Upasana or Aranyaka section, Brihadaranyaka, entire Upanishad comes there. Right? So we have these kind of sections. Actually, the Upanishad that we are going to study also is from Brahmana section of the Atharva Veda. Prashna Upanishad which we, Mantra section of Atharva Veda. Prashna Upanishad that we studied is in Brahmana section of the Atharva Veda, where Shankaracharya had said that it is a further analysis of Mantra Upanishad. That's how he had started. So Mundaka Upanishad comes in the Mantra section. Prashna Upanishad comes in the Brahmana section, both of Atharva Veda only. So we see how thoughtful they were, and they had put this knowledge of Brahman, the self-knowledge, in every place. So you study any portion of Veda, there will be some self-knowledge portion which will be there. And while making Mukhya Upanishads also, he has taken from everywhere. From all the 4 Vedas, from all the different sections, from everywhere he has done that. Is that clear? Right? Therefore, we have understood the Veda, we have understood knowledge, we have understood Upanishad. Now we come to what is called as Mundaka Upanishad, sometimes also called as Munda Upanishad. Now we were seeing earlier also, when we were studying Isha, Kena, Katha, etc., that the name of the particular Upanishad comes because of many reasons. Sometimes the name comes according to the first word of the Upanishad. Like Ishavasya, no? Or Kena also. Kene Shitam Patati Preshitam Manaha. So Kena is the first word. So the entire Upanishad is called as Kena Upanishad. Why? That section of the Veda which starts with Kena. That section of Veda which starts with Isha or Ishavasya. Then we saw Prashnopanishad was named Prashnopanishad because of the theme, because there were questions. Because there were 6 questions of 6 students and answer given by Rishi Pippalada in 6 sections. Right? Therefore Prashnopanishad. We saw Kathopanishad got that name because it was revealed to that Kathaka Rishi. Now here, why is this Munda Upanishad or Mundaka Upanishad? See, actually in Sanskrit, no, ka pratyaya is mostly used in Swartheka. Swartheka pratyaya is used. Means there is no additional meaning. Balaha, child. Balakaha, child. There is Swartheka pratyaya, no? Alparthe means some little bit of Ishat, little bit of meaning which is added. It's not changing any meaning or anything. That pratyaya. Right? So, here also Munda Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, both mean same only. Now, why that name is given? Munda means head. Head is called as Munda. Munda. Munde matir bhinna. There is one shloka. There is different kind of mati in every Munda. Right. So, Munda means head. Now, since this is the head means the final conclusion of the Veda, Shiras. Veda Shiras it is, because Brahmavidya is given, therefore it is named Munda or Mundaka Upanishad. One meaning. Second meaning of word Munda is shaven head. Not just any kind of head, shaven head. Therefore Mundana, they say no, Mundana. Mundana means when you shave your head off, all hair are gone. Probably only Shikha remains. But here in Mundana, Shikha also does not remain because it refers to sannyasis. So Munda also indicates sannyasa. Means what? To show to people that now a portion of Upanishad is beginning. That portion of Veda is beginning, which is supposed to be studied by sannyasis. Vedji? What? But I am not a sannyasi. Oh, forget about marriage. I am not even married. In the very beginning, Shankaracharya will explain why sannyasa is mandatory. And what is the sannyasa that Upanishad is talking about? Okay. So, I will not waste my time on that because we will have to see it in the Avatarika Bhashya. But Munda Upanishad also refers to sannyasa means what? It is that portion of the Upanishad, that portion of the Veda which is to be studied for spiritual pursuit, not for the pursuit of going to any particular world by doing any particular action, physical or mental. So, it is clearly to distinguish that this is different from the Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. To show that Munda word is used. Okay. So, as we said, Mundaka Upanishad is in mantra section of the Atharva Veda. Mantra section of the Atharva Veda. Shaunakiya Shakha. The branch is called as Shaunakiya Shakha. We will see why. Because the student here is Shaunaka. Shaunako Havai Mahashalaha, etc. will come in the Upanishad. Okay. So, Shaunakiya Shakha. We studied Prashnopanishad, which was in Brahmana section of Atharva Veda, which was from Pippalada Shakha. The Shakha was named after Guru. Here Shakha is named after the student, Shishya. Okay. So, mantra section, and we see a lot of repetition of topics between Prashnopanishad and Mundakopanishad. Ideally, I had explained in the last Upanishad also that ideally Mundakopanishad is to be studied first. Then Prashnopanishad is to be studied because Mundaka comes in the mantra section. So, generally people start studying mantra section, then they come to Upanishad, then they come to Brahmana section, second section. But in the verse if we see, Prashna comes first, then Mundaka comes. Interestingly, when we studied Upanishads in Sandipani, we also studied Prashnopanishad first, then we came to Mundakopanishad. And we see also here, we will see lot of knowledge transaction happening between this Prashna Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad. You must be remembering very beginning of Prashna Upanishad Shankara Bhashya, first line itself he said mantroktasya arthasya vistara anuvadi idam brahmanam arabhyate. Mantra uktasya arthasya, what is explained in that mantra section in this Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, vistara anuvadi, to elaborate it further, idam brahmanam arabhyate. This Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad is starting, which is in the Brahmana section. So we have seen the elaboration, now we are seeing the main point. Okay. It is one of the most beautiful Upanishads, which I say in the beginning of every Upanishad, because that is the fact, what can I do? But it is truly a very, very important Upanishad, because see, Upanishads like Mundaka or Katha, they are very simple in nature. Even the Bhashya is very simple. When we were studying Katha Upanishad also, we saw there was not too much of hair-splitting discussion, etc. Philosophical discussion were not there. Mantras were nicely, explained. Ishavasya is too concise, Kena Upanishad is too cryptic. Very difficult to understand. Suddenly it starts only with what? Keneshitam patati preshitam mana. Answer is given. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano. What is happening? There is no build-up of topic. There is some people, like all that should happen systematically. So we have this Mundaka Upanishad and Katha Upanishad among the 10 major Upanishads, which are very, nicely built-up topics are there. Prashna Upanishad also had that, but Prashna Upanishad had different topics suddenly coming. Here it is not like that. Here there is one simple topic which is continued. And Katha Upanishad also has 6 sections. Isn't it? Vallis, etc. are there, and Adhyayas are there, Kandas are there. And here also we have 6 sections, actually speaking. Differently classified, but we have 6 sections here also. So that is the Upanishad that we are starting. The Shanti Mantra for Atharva Veda is also the Shanti Mantra for Mundaka Upanishad, which is Bhadran Karne Vishrunuyama Deva. So we will see in the next session meaning of that Shanti Mantra, and then we will go forward into the Avatarika Bhashya, into the introductory commentary of Shankaracharya. We will do that in the next session.